Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I am DarkHour717 and this is the review of the weekly news from around Star Citizen. Before we get started though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out a great deal and helps me get closer to the goal of 5,000 subscribers. And thank you to everybody that already has hit that subscribe button. And also remember, stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can get entered in for a chance to win a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. This week we continue watching and waiting for the Evocati patch for 3.17 to move into Wave 1 PTU. We know it can be any day now. We know that there was an additional update on Friday and that this will likely carry through the weekend, and anticipating seeing Wave 1 hit sometime this coming week. Of course, we've heard some of the exciting quality of life improvements that are coming with this patch, such as keybind for ATC requests, but we've also found that we'll soon be able to transport ship components from one station to another utilizing our own ships instead of having to claim the ships at multiple locations to equip the components as we buy them. This of course will have some limitations, as larger components will require larger ships to transport them. Along with this though, we saw in the Evocati patch that landing zone inventory size shift from 100 SCU to 1000 SCU, as well as an increase to the ship inventory size to accommodate this new feature. And some other key things to note in this patch for 3.17 are they did a polished pass on the river out at Microtech, and that's to make it more natural appearing and the flow to be a little bit smoother and get rid of some of the aggressive angles. They also completed an inventory polish pass, as I mentioned above, for the accommodation of moving those ship components from site to site, and an updated Arena Commander scoreboard to display the game mode. They've also done updated game glass keybinds as well. Some of the key notable bug fixes do include no infinite load screen when loading back in from a game crash. Ships should now generate a loot crate upon destruction, and the Argo Mole's scanning UI should update correctly for turret operators when pointing at a rock or fragment if the pilot's not looking at it directly. But some of the known issues that we've seen so far in this Evocati patch are, after using Character Customizer, the players may spawn in with an invisible body. Also with that customizer, if you create a female character, you may actually get into the verse in a male body. We're still seeing duplicate elevators at the underground facilities, and they're finding that selling at live fire weapons may not function properly. Players could also experience a visual stall when nearby players are interacting with a shopping kiosk and can last several seconds. And there appears to be a lack of atmosphere in caves that should have a breathable atmosphere. Also, many mineable asteroids are not able to be scanned, and ships are still exploding upon exit at times. They're also finding that multiple ships have difficulty with auto-docking to the Starfarer, causing a collision or getting stuck on the boom arm, and this can cause the ship to be unable to disconnect. So we are seeing a number of issues that have carried over from previous patches, and some that were listed as fixed previously but have yet returned. This is not an uncommon thing in game development, but all the issues are currently being worked on. Hopefully they will have it to Wave 1 ready status come next week. I know I'm extremely excited to see this hit and be able to give it a try, and we will bring you any further updates as we find out more. As for the rest of the news of the week, we of course saw the standard this week in Star Citizen issued out on Monday. We started the week with the Stella Fortuna Festival still running, but it has since completed, so hopefully everybody was able to get the paints or ships that they wanted. I will admit the Stella Fortuna paint is gorgeous on the 400i and 600i, and it is definitely one of my new favorites. Tuesday, we received the latest in lore releases, Aramis, Home Sweet Home. This is an op-ed by Camden Hommel. Camden is a Tavaran that was raised in the UEE and given a human name in attempts by his parents to increase his acceptance by people. He discusses the effects that this had on him growing up and resentment that he felt at times for it. After the attack by the Vandal on Aramis, he saw the UEE not providing support equally for everyone and had made the decision to move his family outside the UEE to Branna. This short story documents the happiness he felt at first, but also the number of items he questioned as he found moving to this community turned out to not be the best choice for his family, and how the decision to leave the UEE was a much longer and deeply thought out decision, but the decision to actually return to the UEE for the betterment of his family was a quick, easy decision. This really is a short story and very quick read, but yet it contains a very deep and in-depth look at social concerns that we deal with even today. Though I usually am not a huge follower of lore, I really have come to see that through the use of the lore, there are many things that are relatable to even today's events and occurrences. I've really come to appreciate the level of depth that the writers put into each of these entries and encourage everybody to take a look at them. This brings us to Thursday's episode of Inside Star Citizen, as there was no roadmap roundup this week, and the latest episode brought us the entire player experience team. These are the ones that bring the opinions of the player communities to the developers. They're the ones that really are the liaison between the two groups. A lot of what they do is focus on the things found and reported through the issue council and other sources, and help verify and duplicate and bring to light the issues that we report. They do much more than this as well, though, and really work hard to make sure that the player is represented and their ideas and thoughts are passed along and brought to the forefront. Working through approaching things from a player perspective, they look at items differently than the actual QA team, as well as taking QA test requests from developers, asking them to try and recreate issues that they may not be able to. They do make it clear they are not the reason ships get nerfed, though, but they do bring these concerns forward as the messenger of the players. I will say this was very interesting because, as Jared points out, this is a team that many do not even know exists, but their importance and hard work is felt by everybody playing Star Citizen. This then took us into the sprint report, which showed us the new docking areas. Showcased was the one for August Dunlow, and it looked gorgeous. We then saw the Drake Corsair's interior gray box, and a truly Drake feel to the areas, and cockpit and visibility on it actually looks great. After that, we saw the Vulture in its final art phase, which I'm getting more excited to get my hands on this ship. Also, we got to see the Reclaimer derelicts and a breakdown of the three types we're going to see in-game. There's going to be old, new, and inhabited derelicts out there. These all look great and will add to the exploration side of the game for sure. The interiors are amazing, and going through these wrecks looking for lootables are definitely going to be a blast. Highlighted also was the handheld salvage beam, which really looks cool, though this will not be the final form for the device. I really can't say how much excitement I'm really feeling for the salvage gameplay to get here. This of course brings us to Star Citizen Live with the EUPU gameplay team. As this was a previously scheduled interview, some of the questions in the meantime have since been answered, especially with the episode last week with Todd Pappy. First items they discussed, of course, is the Starfarer refueling. They really discuss the ability to fill the Starfarer with different types of fuel and being able to select either filling all 6 tanks with hydrogen or even doing a mix of some with hydrogen and some with quantum fuel. At this time, they do mention refueling beacons are not available, so this means that reaching out in other ways will be necessary to get fuel if you need it, either through your own Discord or in-game chat. This of course poses the risk of attracting pirates if you're going through in-game chat. Originally trying to get refueling in at 316, Jared asked how it changed being moved back to 317. And they discussed the addition of the flow speed control and the ability to damage your nozzle should you not be paying attention. Also added with the delay was the addition of the direct interaction with the control screen on the back end of the Starfarer's gangway. And they mentioned this can introduce a form of sabotage as well. They also talked about the amount of time it will take to fill the tanks of any ship that's refueling off of it. Of course, size of the tank will play a part, but it has been somewhat balanced, as a Gladius will take about 40 seconds to refuel and an 890 jump will definitely take a significant more amount of time. The goal was to stick to a reality of flow rate and size comparison, but would be in a matter of minutes for something like the 890, not hours. Currently, Parasite vehicles will not be able to refuel from parent ships, and in an attack, any fuel on board the Starfarer will be gone and exploded. Eventually, a mechanic will be implemented that the pods will be droppable and be able to be picked up by other Starfarers in the future, but this is something that's still a bit far off. Also, don't forget that not all ships will have the fuel port, but will eventually be implemented in the future. Also, later in the episode, they brought up the attention that they want to pay to multi-crew mining, and ways that they can really improve this experience. But this is a long-term and far future plan, and only minor changes were really mentioned. They also brought up the life support and how it's progressing and how similar items will play into larger multi-crew functionality. And talking about how life support will also play into the number of people that you can even have on board a ship, and death can happen if you clown Kara and Aurora. This also brought up how in an unfriendly atmosphere, a ship will need time to purge the bad air to be replaced with breathable air in ships such as the Valkyrie, where the outside air can enter when the doors are open. The episode itself covered many other topics and upcoming features, and definitely well worth a watch. Links to this as well as other episodes will be in the description below. And finally, make sure to catch Fight or Flight, the Atmos Esports 2v2 PvP tournament starting today, March 26th with round 1. 32 teams go head-to-head to determine a winner in this exciting event, brought to you by Atmos Esports. The same folks that hold the Daymar Rally, Hurston Hurt Locker, and the Stanton 7. These guys really hold the most exciting events around Stanton and do an amazing job, and I personally want to thank them for all their hard work. They really put a lot into all of these events, and it really shows. Of course, Amarok's Fang has 2 teams entered in this event. Myself and Cryo, who's the co-founder of Amarok's Fang, will be competing in Group A, and we are represented by Gravity Cat and Ingvar in Group B. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there, and you'll be able to catch that on Twitch through our stream, or catch the entire event through the Atmos Esports stream on Twitch as well. Broadcasting will begin right around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you enjoyed this week's review of the news from around the verse, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Also remember to get your entries in for our giveaway. This month it is a Tobii Eye Tracker 5. Just subscribe and leave a comment on any video here and you'll automatically be entered, and winner will be drawn on April 1st. Also, you can check out the Twitch where you can catch the stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can get entered in for our Twitch exclusive giveaways by just following over there on that channel. This month, the giveaway is going to be a Thrustmaster T16000 HOTUS on Twitch, and that will be drawn and awarded on April 1st. If you would like to help support the channel, definitely check out the merch store and the Patreon, as it's how we're able to do our giveaways, and I definitely greatly appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for all the support, and please be safe out there, and we will catch you next time.